What is the number one thing that you guys all struggle with? The number one thing, having enough time in the day to get it all done. You have to create the art and think about the art and buy the supplies. And then you have to figure out how to title the art and give the art a description and market it and go and find an audience and on and on and on. And it never ends, right? So we've been working really hard behind the scenes. Comment aha to get on the VIP list for Art Helper. All right, I'm leaving a quick comment here, and then I cannot wait to show you guys this. So we developed our own AI, and we're calling it Art Helper, and it's awesome. And we're going to release it soon. So anybody that wants early access to this thing and is watching on Facebook or Instagram, you can leave me a comment with the words aha, like Diane did. Pretty sure you're already on the list, Diane, but I appreciate the aha comment nonetheless. I need a guinea pig on Instagram that's going to let me go download some images from your site, okay? And so that I can play with them and show you guys off, show off some things. And some of our customers actually got data access to it already and are using it. We sort of picked a random list, but let me just tell you big picture, right? So for a while now, ChatGPT has allowed you to upload an image and say like, hey, here's my image. Can you go ahead and tune this thing up and dial it in and tell me some comments about it and write a description and everything else? And that's awesome. The problem is that ChatGPT's, I guess, would you call it algorithm? You wouldn't call it that. Large language model, ChatGPT's large language model. Okay, the issue with it is it's kind of like having an e-commerce store that sells everything, right? Like if it's designed to sell everything, then it doesn't specialize in anything. So we looked at that, and then we also looked at like how hard with ChatGPT it is to get it to save, to figure out how to do all the prompting, right? Kenneth, I love these photos, dude. These are beautiful. Oh my God. And Kenneth, you have a huge Instagram following, buddy. You need to get on the ManyChat service if you're a customer. But I'm going to download some of Kenneth's images. So beautiful. God, where's that? Swamps, Louisiana or something. Man, that's gorgeous. Okay, so I'm going to grab a couple of his images. He's got some Northern Lights ones. Oh, I love it with the Airstream. Something about an Airstream. Okay, it looks like a giant Japanese maple. I'm going to go ahead and download all of this. So where was I going with all that? Okay, so we saw a huge opportunity, and we're like, you know what? There's definitely a way to put a wrapper on ChatGPT and make this whole entire thing easier, number one. And then number two, because we have 10 years of trying to help our customers or die trying sell art online, we have like our own repository of data, the words that work to sell art, how you place, buying words into the art itself, which art is selling, what type of descriptions they have, how many characters do they have, what are the best ways to talk about art, right? And, you guys don't have time to learn how to prompt an AI and get really, really good at a prompt, right? Like prompt it to your language, prompt it to your everything. And so we're like, okay, we got to dive in and we got to do this. And so the app we've created, this is the first time you guys are seeing it, is called Art Helper. Okay. And what's rad about it to begin with is that all of your images just live in this thing. Okay. They are going to live in this thing. They're going to be here. You can upload them all. You can work on them. You can leave. You can come back. Nothing's changed. You're not going to be logged out and all of your data is lost. It's all just there and it's all just saved, right? And so what I love about it too is that, like, with ChatGPT or some of the other ones, it doesn't let you bulk upload a bunch of images and put them all up at once. And you really, really have to be good at prompting the thing to get it to do anything that you want it to do. Okay. And so one of the really, really cool things that I love about our version is right out of the gates, yes, the image organization, okay, which is great. And again, if anybody wants early access to this thing, we're releasing it in December. All you have to do on Facebook or Instagram is leave a comment, AHA, AHA, and I'll send you an invite for this thing the minute that it's live. So what's so rad about this is we started off with like the most important things, right? And so let's say that there's this image here, and Kenneth has like, he's a photographer. He goes on shoots. He gets all kinds of different images. He's got more images. Okay. There's the ones that he retouches to this level. And this thing is just absolutely stunning. I'm dying to know where this is. But the sheer volume of images that you guys have to title and give descriptions is out of control to begin with, right? So what I love doing is we've arranged this thing and we've called all the things that it can do in here sparks, right? And so one of the sparks is product title. And I'm going to look at Kenneth's profile and just kind of see how he communicates when he talks. So I write poems for everyone, workshop instructor, nomad, 6 full plus years in an Airstream. Kenneth, do you have the Starlink yet? If not, got to get that thing. It's awesome. And I'm sure you probably already do. And the fact you have 70,000 followers on Instagram, by the way, puts you in the top 7%, I think, top 7 to 10% of accounts on Instagram. So great job on building a huge following. Well done. So anyway, I write poems for every camera. Let me just assume what I think Kenneth's voice is. And let's just say I think Kenneth's friendly, funny, witty, and I'm going to say mysterious because he's rolling around town in an Airstream. So what our app lets you do right out of the gates, which is really cool, is it lets you tune your voice. Okay. So you can tune this thing with multiple different tags. And what it'll do is it'll blend those tags into one coherent voice, and you can restart the titles and you can sort of play with it till you get the voice that you want. Okay. Kenneth, if you're a customer, I'm going to contact you about this ManyChat service I have, because I'll grow your email list so quick it'll make your head spin. But that's a different story. I'll just send me an email, KennethPatrick@artstorefronts.com, and say put ManyChat in the title, and I'm going to explain it to you. Anyway, so I want to show you how cool this is. So number one, it gives you SEO optimized titles, right? And so there's 10 SEO optimized titles, and the SEO optimized titles, these are great for product descriptions on a website that Google might pick up. And we've built into the AI what is likely to get you the greatest level of search volume on the titles. You can use those, but you don't have to use those. I actually like the artistic titles. This one is Whispers of Autumn, a canoe journey through time, Echoes of Color, dancing with mist in a serene swamp, Enchanted Waters, the heartbeat of nature's palette, right? Let's just say I'm going to pick Enchanted Waters. I actually like Whispers of Autumn better. I'm going to copy this particular title. Okay. I'm going to edit the details of the image. I'm going to throw it in there, and I'm going to click save. So what that's done, you can see, is it's saved the title on top of the image itself, right? So already I'm sort of able to take the image and look at the image kind of like it would appear on a website in some regards, right? And I can look at it and see how I feel about it, right? Like, do I like what this says here? Do I think that this is a good fit already? Yeah, I'm going to marinate on it, but I've got something right now, right? And so boom, that's there. Now I'm going to go ahead and write the product description on it. And so because, again, I've tuned Kenneth's voice to casual, friendly, funny, mysterious, and witty, I'm going to leave it at that. Let's just say that that's the particular version that I've liked, but you can, of course, experiment and play with it and see what kind of results that you get. But once you pick it, it's essentially writing in the voice that you've tuned it to. And in the future, by the way, we're going to have it scan all of your social media posts and any writing you've ever done. And then it's going to get your voice and write in your voice. So now I'm going to go ahead and grab the entire product description that I wrote, and I can just copy it here. I'm going to edit the details. I'm going to take the description. Boom. Again, I'm going to save it in here, and it's done, right? And so, I put title in there. That's dumb. Let me get that out of there. I don't need title. Yep, I don't need that. We're still in the beta version of this thing, so it still has some bugs, but we're rapidly doing it. But what I love about this view already, you guys, is like, this is what it would potentially look like on a website. It's almost like what it would look like on a blog post. It's almost what it would look like on a social media update that was shared. And so, you got to give the title, and you got to give this initial description sort of like a little bit of a look, right? Like, does that catch my eye? Do I think that's really, really interesting? Would that be something that I would want to use, right? Which I think is really, really cool. Then what's interesting is, like, let's say, but who's going to want this photo? I mean, it's stunningly beautiful when you look at it and you're like, wow, that's amazing. Like, that photo is incredible, right? And we should look at it. We should look at it full screen. How far did I make it a little bit bigger so everyone can see it? So his was Texas in fall. So who knew this was in Texas? These trees are so beautiful. It looks like a swamp in Louisiana, right? And this is so funny because he's got poems already. So in Kenneth's case, he's going to be able to upload his poems directly into the AI and say, this is my writing style. Can you write like this, right? But what's interesting is, like, let's say I have this photo, right? And I'm wondering, like, who's going to want this photo? Like, where can I post this photo? What niche would this potentially find? So you can see some of these other additional sparks that we're starting to build in here. Like, we're going to make this AI app like sort of a launch center for everything that you might want to do in terms of marketing. And so I can click Facebook Group Finder. And what it's going to do is it's going to look at this particular photo and it's going to try and figure out, and this is a really hard photo to do. I'm curious to see what results it comes up with. It's going to go ahead and find me a list of Facebook groups that I can potentially post this in. Okay. And our app goes in and it scans. We have a database of a whole bunch of different Facebook groups that we found, and it goes in and it's going to say, what Facebook groups can I find that I could potentially join that would be good places to post these photos, okay, so that people can take a look at them and I can get further reach on the photos. And you can see right now the thing is derping out because it's supposed to give the links right here. We'll see if it catches up in a second. But we're going to have it look for Facebook groups for you, okay? So instantaneously, you can, like, in my creative process, and I'm not an artist, but you can upload the image, okay? You can start playing around with titles and descriptions, and it's like, you know, I might not be an artist like you guys, but I'm a deeply visual person as a marketer. And it's like, I want to be able to see the title. I want to be able to see the description. Okay, go find me some Facebook groups that would dovetail with this particular image, okay? And let's see what that looks like, right? So I can do that. I can have it go find Reddit groups, right? It will do the exact same thing with Reddit groups. And so it's like, look, you guys are trying to grow your audience. You need to find places in addition to Instagram, in addition to Facebook, where you can post this stuff, right? And like where you might get some feedback on this stuff. So now it's got Reddit groups that are coming up, and it's like we're constantly tweaking our large language model, LLM. The terminology is still hard. To best incorporate what are the groups that are the easiest to share your art in. And you can grab some of these things, right? And like Misty Mornings, right? Like if he posted this thing in Misty Mornings, people would go buck wild. And so I can just copy that thing, paste it, boom. Oh, community not found, of course. So we're still working on the bugs. Let's see if it comes up. I bet it comes up. There it is. No, it didn't come up. So that was a huge fail, but that's okay. This is still totally in beta. You can see kind of like where we're going to go with it, right? And we've also cooked in Etsy. If for those that are selling on Etsy, this thing is instantaneously, it can do an Etsy listing and Etsy title. And like, look, you have to appreciate, like, we're art storefronts. We don't want people on Etsy, right? But we're cognizant of the fact that if you've got a revenue source over there, okay, great, let's do it, right? So you can do LinkedIn post, and we formatted the text to do LinkedIn post. You could see the price my art down here, which is mine, because I want you guys to be able to take a single image and then build an entire lineup of what the pricing should be in the 0 to 100 range, the 100 to 1,000, and the 1,000 plus range, right? And then have all the products laid out in a grid so you can get an idea of like, what would it look like for me to price a lineup of this particular image so I can get a better idea of what I should charge for the limited edition, right? And then you'll be able to tweak it. And so if the pricing on this, like if you're like, okay, I'm going to sell my limited edition for 2,500, you're going to be able to input the fact that you want to sell the limited edition for 2,500, and then it's going to wind back, okay? It's going to wind back and create all the rest of the products all the way up the ladder to establish the value of the $2,500 limited edition, right? It'll say like, okay, if you're doing $2,500 limited editions, your large metal, your large acrylic open editions should probably start at $1,000, okay, go up to $1,500, and then all the way down to your paper prints, all the way down to the merch, and all of that is just going to take care of itself. If you need to write a new email, a new piece email, you want to email your list and be like, guys, I just got back from the swamps of Texas, which is, are there even swamps in Texas? I suppose there are. I'm still totally curious where this is in Texas, but anyway, you know, now it can write an email for you. And this notion of not starting with the blank page, right, is so powerful, right? Like it's so much easier to edit some text, right? And then you can throw in your image in here than starting from scratch. Like no one wants to start from scratch. And you know, some people are like, yeah, but it's got to be my voice to the letter. That's fine. I will tell you right now, you are going to be so much faster, okay, when you're able to do all of this. And where it really gets crazy for me, it's like, you know, how quickly you guys are going to have the ability, okay, to process like a large batch of images. And I mean like a large batch, right? Like all in to write the product title and the product description alone for 30, 40, 50 images is like how long will that take you? Like, I mean, it's insane to even contemplate, right? With this, boom, you're going to be able to get in there in 2 seconds. And this one totally looks like the giant maple that's in that Japanese botanical garden in Portland, Oregon. Am I right about that? I don't know, but I love that tree. I love Japanese maple. So again, you know, the Secret Fall, Enchanted Maple, Symphony of Colors, Branches of Fire. Oh, I love that. Branches of Fire. We didn't start the fire. So anyway, you put the title in there. I'm going to save that. And what I love about it, and again, you know, you see some buggy stuff happening because again, this is the beta version, and you know, we want to fix it. Yeah, I mean, I've gotten lost in this botanical garden multiple times. He's telling me, yes, that's where it is. I mean, I love Japanese gardens. My dad had one in the backyard when we were a kid, when I was like really, really young. And then he had 4 kids, and then there was no more time for Japanese gardening anymore, let me just tell you. So boom, you can get a product description again like last time. But what's really, really interesting is like, you know, you think about how daunting this whole process is ordinarily, right? Like, how long does it take you guys even just to do the product descriptions and product titles? And again, what's even more amazing in my estimation is like, you know, and we're going to keep adding and adding and adding to what this thing can do to just make your guys' lives easier, right? To make it a product description. I don't want a product description. I want a product title. The more we can help you guys get to a place where you feel like you can market unrestricted, the faster you're going to grow. If this helps you make social media posts faster and your posting frequency goes from 20 posts a week to 50, do you know what's going to happen? You're going to grow a massive Instagram following, because at the end of the day, it really, really matters how much you post. So I love the Branches of Fire, right? So I'm going to copy that one, edit this, save it. Okay. And it's updated. And again, Branches of Fire, the Dance of the Maple, right? So like what's crazy about this is like with all the rest of the AIs, you know, even if you tried to do this, all your images are not saved in one place. You can't like do the work, right? And then leave, and then it resets itself. Like, what chat was that in there? And then the language is all flowery and it's annoying. It just doesn't work, you know? So it's like how quickly you can batch process a bunch of these is just awesome. And as soon as we get to the point where it's trained in your voice, game over, because then it's going to sound exactly like you. And at the end of the day, like, do the titles 100% sell the art? Even if it gets to like 90% as good as you doing it, oh, the marketing is what drives the results, you guys, not always the title, right? And it's so hard to be good at everything. And these titles, I really, really like the artistic titles. And like, look, the AI knows what stops people in on the scroll, right? Like, what stops traffic? Like, you know, you can't be good at everything. You can't be an expert copywriter and an incredible artist and a great marketer and great at sales and great at negotiations. And it's like, you know, you have to get help, or you can get help. And the fact that you can do this so quickly is just, it's amazing. And I'll show you guys briefly, like, one other thing that I love to use it for. It's like, let's say, you know, Kenneth had this piece right on Instagram, and let's see what he actually did post when he posted it. I'm curious, because I like breaking down. By the way, Kenneth, I have no idea what you look like when I look at your Instagram profile here. Okay, there's one, right? Like, you can't be the photographer that always hides behind the lens. Okay, you need to show us a little window into Kenneth's world, and to hear him talking and doing his thing. And maybe if I looked at the reels, I'm on the desktop version of Instagram, so it's not easy to see. We need to see a little bit of you. And the other huge mistake that you're making, Kenneth, you're going to learn this because you're a customer. You don't sell JPEGs, Kenneth. You sell the finished piece, okay? And I want to articulate the difference. I have a wood print here, so I'm going to just show the wood print. I want to see, Kenneth, in your Instagram profile, and again, like, you know, Kenneth's got 70,000 followers, right? So it's not like he's not doing good things. I want to see you holding the finished piece, Kenneth. I want you articulating what it actually looks like, the wood print of that particular print, and how it would be on my wall. I want you pointing at it and smiling. Better yet, I want a customer that just purchased it, holding it. But this is what people purchase. People do not purchase JPEGs, right? So you need to start showing and merchandising what it is that we can potentially buy. And, you know, despite the fact that these photos are absolutely spellbinding, right? Spellbinding. Okay, so you've got to give away. Oh, and there it is, right there. Now he's got his revenge on me. More of those, right? That's how you win. because show me what is actually going to end up on the wall. And okay, this is a giveaway. We probably had you do this, right? Oh yeah, it is. You're giving away 2 prizes. Oh my God, dude, when I teach you ManyChat, you are gonna absolutely lose your marbles. We'll talk about that when you email me. Anyway, what I wanted to show, what is so cool about Art Helper is like, he could get this photo, right? Which is absolutely insane. I mean, the colors on here, it almost looks like there's bioluminescence in this image. I'm not sharing it. By the way, I just dressed him down for not holding the finished product, and now he's got the finished product. So he got me. Well done. But what I love about Art Helper is like, what Kenneth could have just as easily done is carousel image number 1, this guy, gone back to Art Helper, gone to product title, right? Picked his 3 to 5 favorite titles that this thing gave. And he could do a couple different versions if he was so inclined. This thing has show history, right? And it saves it. So even if you give it a couple like additional prompts, like make the titles really, really funny, right? So you can prompt it just like that, just like you would any AI. And what's cool about this is it's going to give me an additional batch of titles to potentially work with. And, you know, it has show history here, right? So all this work you've done in here is saved to this particular image, and the chat history is saved there. So you can come back to this at any point in time and do whatever you got to do, right? And so what I love, where I'm going with this, is like, incorporate the audience in helping you vote for what the title of the piece should be. Grab your 3 to 5 favorite ones, go in, and on the carousel post, show this image, and then say, I need help naming this piece. Carousel number 2, the first title that you love, and then maybe you're holding a print to subtly let people know it's for sale, right? Carousel number 3, okay, could be you talking about it again, and then another one of the titles that this thing spits out. And then I need your help me vote, right? Is it 1, 2, or 3? Then people are giving you feedback on which one of these titles is best. Now you've taken an image, you've gotten people in your social media feed involved and like voting on it, right? And then like they're all fired up about it. Then you pull your audience on the titles, and the title that has the social proof already built in gets incorporated into what the final version is. Do you know how long this takes? This takes 2 seconds. And so one of the things that I want to do for those of you guys that use Canva is integrate it with Canva. So it will throw the titles directly into a Canva carousel post that you already have done. It'll just throw the text right in there, and then you just download the images out of Canva, boom, get them, post them right on Instagram, which would be really, really cool. So really excited about this thing. I'm really excited about where it is already. When it launches, these other sparks are experimental, but you can see we've got a button on here already that says upscale. For those of you guys that, it's not going to apply to Kenneth, his images are huge, but for those of you guys that you know, have taken photos of your art and you're wondering whether or not you know, it's printable, you can upscale it in 2 seconds, because AI is really, really good at that. So that'll help you guys get bigger prints out of the images that you have, which is incredible. The pricing, like I said, and then we're eventually going to have a POD button on here. And so you upload the image, high res, this thing is going to save it. It will do all of this stuff for you. And then if you're like, I need a sample of this, I need a sample of this on merch, or I need a print, you're going to be able to just click one button and boom, it's going to go. So we have a ton of really, really cool features that are going to be coming with this. And I can't wait to get it in your guys' hands, let you play with it, see what you think. So we're kind of aiming for, we're aiming for a mid-December launch. And I think we're only going to let in 4,000 people initially to test it, because there's like some sort of line in the sand limit where things could crash. So if you leave the comment AHA on Facebook, on Instagram, we'll make sure that you get an email to try it, kick the tires on it, see what you think. Does it make you faster? Does it make you a better marketer? I'm going to have you guys vote on what features that you potentially want us to add next. But anything that we can do to speed you up and get you marketing more efficiently is the ball game. So really, really excited to get you guys playing with it. So that's what I've got for you tonight. Thank you for watching. Can't wait for you guys to try this. So again, just leave a comment, AHA, and I will send you guys an invite the minute it's ready to go. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.